The very second your eyes fell upon this life, the heavens shifted, and I, the Lord your God, saw you hesitate to listen to this message. I witnessed your soul waging an invisible war. But do you know what else? I have entered your house. I am here because I heard your muffled cry, the one no one else noticed. As the world continued on, I saw a danger rising against your life, an attack you hadn't even imagined. I saw hell celebrating, laughing at your pain, believing you wouldn't resist. I saw the enemy smile when doubt crept into your heart, making you question if this message was meant for you. But write in the comments, "I am ready, Lord." That declaration is the sign I need to move what is stagnant in your life. When you declare with faith, you activate heaven, and I, the Lord, respond. I interrupted this moment, altered your routine, and brought you the answer you silently asked for, the one carried in the tears no one saw. A sign, a move. It is coming. Something that seemed impossible will soon emerge from the hidden places and become a reality in your life, not by chance, but because I heard you. Now stop for a moment and understand. You may not see what is being set aside, but I do. It was not luck that brought you here. It was a rescue. Your decision gave me the authority to act. Confirm your step of faith right now. Subscribe to the channel, not just as a click, but as a prophetic act. Leave your like as a silent cry from someone who still believes, someone who refuses to give up, someone who knows they are heard. The power of your words. You often underestimate the power of your own words, as if they were mere sounds scattered in the wind. But I tell you, every word you speak carries life or death, shaping your soul, your future, your destiny. Right now, I follow your voice. That declaration opens spiritual doors that have remained closed. When you write with faith, you show that you no longer belong to fear but to obedience. Your words are like seeds. Some germinate in the fertile soil of your heart. Others take root in barrenness, feeding doubt, fear, and discouragement. Choose words of faith, courage, and hope, and you will plant trees that flourish, bear fruit, and shelter the peace I long to pour over you. There is a battle surrounding your way of speaking. The enemy seeks to weaken you through words of despair and defeat, while I call you to speak life, healing, victory, and freedom. It is not about repeating beautiful phrases or memorized prayers. It is about a deep commitment to align your words with truth. Your words shape reality. Your thoughts become words, and your words become destiny. So guard them carefully. Write, "I do not back down." Your firmness honors me, and hell trembles when someone stands in faith. Today, heaven records every word flowing from your heart. The battle for your mind. Be vigilant over what you allow into your mind and heart, for what you feed will grow. Words of constant criticism, contempt, and resentment become fuel for destruction, but words of blessing, spoken over yourself and others, even in times of pain, align you with my love and my promise of renewal. Do not let the enemy control your words. Do not let him weaken you. You have the authority to speak otherwise, to change the course of your life with a single word spoken in faith. You are not merely a recipient of my blessings. You are an active channel through which they flow. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving words that will strengthen your soul and transform your path. Leave your like, not just as support, but as a sign of your willingness to change, to rise, to walk with me. The power of silence. Now that you understand the weight of words, I want to speak to you about silence, the challenge it poses to the human soul. Silence often exposes what we are trying to hide, our fears, doubts, and emotions we would rather avoid. It acts as a mirror reflecting truth, even when we wish to turn away. But hear me, silence is not empty, and it is never punishment. It is the sacred space where my voice can be heard, away from distractions and the opinions of others. Write, "My heart is yours, Lord." That written submission is an act of courage. When you write sincerely, you show that you trust, even without full understanding. And I bless those who trust. Many flee from silence because they fear what they might find there, the mistakes they made, the dreams they abandoned, the wounds they buried. But I am with you in that meeting. I have not come to condemn. I have come to restore. In silence, I teach you to listen to my heart, to recognize the path I have prepared for you, to renew your strength. A soul that learns to remain silent before me grows in wisdom and discernment. You are being called into deeper intimacy with me, to carve out moments where the external noise fades and you can hear me clearly. It is in this stillness that I reveal secrets the world cannot give, where I strengthen your faith and prepare you for what lies ahead. Right now, I choose your will. This decision moves the spiritual world. Your dedication attracts me, and your choice grants me the legal authority to act with power in your life. If you allow it, silence will also heal the wounds too deep for words. It is there I breathe hope, offer peace to the weary heart, and begin transforming sorrow into true joy. So do not run from silence. Embrace it as a gift, an opportunity for renewal. When you learn to cherish those moments, you will realize that my presence is not only found in grand displays, but in the gentle whisper that reaches your soul in the midst of stillness. Beware of the subtle danger that creeps in unnoticed. False voices do not arrive with a loud bang or a bold declaration. Instead, they disguise themselves with sweet words, ideas that seem right, and advice that appears wise. Yet beneath their appealing exterior lie traps designed to lead you away from me, to divert your steps from the truth that sets you free. The enemy uses these voices to sow doubt, cloud your heart, and create confusion. He knows that doubt is an open door to fear, indecision, and paralysis. When you begin questioning everything without anchoring yourself in me, you stray from the path I have set before you. Write in the comments, "I trust even when I am tired." That declaration proves your faith is not shallow, but real. Those who write it show me they are still fighting, and whoever fights with faith never loses. These false voices manifest in many forms, through people around you, messages on social media, or even deceptive thoughts that seem to be yours, but are actually strategies meant to weaken you. They whisper that you are not capable, that your dreams are impossible, that your faith is insufficient. But listen carefully. Not everything you hear or think is true. Discernment is key. The voice I place within your heart will never make you doubt my goodness, my justice, or my love. Even when it challenges circumstances, it brings peace. That is why intimacy with me is crucial. Only those who truly know me can recognize my voice amidst the noise. Do not let these false voices stop you from moving forward. Do not let them steal the hope I have planted within you. If you have doubts, bring them to me. Speak to me honestly. Expose your fears and uncertainties. I am the God who calms internal storms, the firm rock in the midst of your doubts. I grant you clarity to see beyond appearances, to discern that not everything that seems right is meant for your good. You have the power to choose which voice to listen to. Choose the voice that strengthens you, encourages you, and leads you in truth. Subscribe to the channel to continue growing spiritually. Leave a like as a sign that you are ready to strengthen your discernment and resist deception. The greatest battlefield is within you. You may believe your enemies lie outside, in difficult circumstances, in those who have hurt you, in visible temptations. But the truth is, your heart itself can become a battlefield of deception. Your heart can justify wrong attitudes, harbor resentment, embrace pride, and resist forgiveness. It is tricky terrain because you trust it as if it were infallible. But I warn you, the heart can be deceitful, even dangerous. Write in the comments, I obey you, even if I don't understand. That obedience moves heaven, changes destinies, and silences the accuser. Those who obey in silence attract miracles. When you cling to your emotions rather than what I reveal, you run astray. The voice of your heart may convince you that giving up is justified, that the world is against you, that your wounds will never heal. But I invite you to take a step back and listen beyond your feelings. True freedom comes when you recognize that, even through all you feel, I am still in control. Even when your heart cries out for justice, revenge, or recognition, I teach you to respond with grace, patience, and love. What your heart desires is not always what your spirit needs. That is why you must seek my direction constantly, ensuring that your will aligns with mine. This is not about suppressing your emotions, but rather submitting them to a greater truth, a truth that leads to a full life. Transformation requires courage. Courage to examine your heart, courage to face your shadows, courage to ask for help when needed, courage to trust that even in doubt and pain, I'm shaping you for something greater. Do not be deceived by the easy road that leads to comfort. True transformation requires struggle, vigilance, and a faith that perseveres, even when the heart is weary. You are never alone on this journey. I am here, ready to strengthen your soul, renew your hope, and heal your deepest wounds. Write, speak to me, God. If you feel this message is for you, do not remain silent. When you write, you open the door for me to enter even deeper into your story, the silent strength of faith. True faith does not manifest only in grand miracles or dramatic moments. It is often revealed in small daily choices, the decision to move forward when hope is faint, the determination to persevere when exhaustion weighs you down. Faith is the silent strength that sustains your steps when no one is watching, that holds your soul firm when everything else seems to crumble. Understand this. Every act of trust is a brick in the construction of your victory. Do not underestimate the power of a simple "I trust in you," whispered in the stillness of your heart. Right, use me, Lord. That declaration breaks barriers. Those who set themselves apart in faith are already being set apart by me. I honor those who surrender completely. Choosing to nurture doubt makes room for defeat, but choosing faith, even when circumstances seem impossible, creates space for the supernatural, the unexpected, the impossible becoming possible. This daily surrender, this constant act of faith, is what transforms you and draws you closer to the purpose I have for you. I do not promise ease, but I promise my presence. If you stumble, I will lift you up. If you feel you cannot go on, I will be the strength that propels you forward. You are called to a faith of action, commitment, endurance, and trust. That practical faith will lead you to witness the impossible become reality. Every choice you make is a seed planted in fertile soil. It will germinate, grow, and shape your life in ways beyond your current understanding. Keep writing with passion, with urgency, with conviction. Your voice is a divine call, awakening faith and restoring hearts, the weight of your daily decisions. Often, the decisions that seem simple and routine are the very ones that define your character, shape your direction, and determine the extent of your blessings. Do not underestimate the power of your thoughts, your words, and your daily choices. Every yes or no carries weight. It is more than a momentary decision. It is a reflection of what dwells within you. And that internal content determines what you will reap. Right, I am yours. Short, deep, sufficient. Whoever declares it with faith activates protection, direction, and promise. I, the Lord, will go wherever necessary for those who belong to me. I invite you to be alert, carefully guarding what enters your mind and your heart. Life is full of circumstances that push you toward easy paths, shortcuts that promise quick satisfaction but lead to bitter consequences. Resisting temptation is an act of faith and strength. It is not easy to stand firm when the world pressures you to surrender, to settle for less than what I have prepared for you. But I assure you, the life I desire for you is far greater than circumstances suggest. Look within. Recognize the truth I placed in your spirit. Understand that the struggle for righteous decisions is worth every effort and every moment of resistance. Fidelity opens doors, elevates you, and makes possible what the world cannot give. The responsibility is yours, but I am here to strengthen you, to remind you that you are not alone on this path. At every step, I guide you, I correct you, I love you. Show your commitment. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like, not just as a click, but as a sign that you are willing to live with purpose, to grow, to choose what is right. The vow you made in the dark. You made a promise. Do you remember? It was not spoken out loud, nor in front of anyone, but I heard it. I was there when you whispered from the depths of your struggle. If the Lord takes me out of here, I will never return to this place. And now, as you wrestle with doubts, confusion, and desires you barely understand, I have come to remind you of the words you spoke when no one was watching. I did not forget. When you called out to me that night with your heart torn apart, the heavens moved. You thought it was just desperation, just words escaping in a moment of pain. But for me, it was an alliance, a vow. And the enemy heard it too. Since then, he has worked tirelessly to make you forget what you promised. But today, I have come to firmly remind you, do not negotiate what you vowed through tears just because time has passed. Do not sell yourself for crumbs. Do not give ground to a world that only seeks to steal what I planted in you. You are being pulled back to places you swore you'd never touch again. You are reopening conversations, accepting proposals that violate your very nature. But I have burst into this moment out of thousands of options to rescue your conscience. Right, my faith is alive. When you declare this, you break invisible chains and disrupt the enemy's plans. I honor those who do not remain silent in battle. You called for help. I extended my hand. You gave me your life. I perceived you. Now return to your first love. React. Break the cycle. Do not bury what I wrote with fire. Do not trade your calling for empty distractions. Do not lose yourself internally while trying to appear strong externally. You are still here. And that tells me everything. Many listen. Few remain. Few have the courage to keep listening when my words begin to stir what was dormant inside. A kind of service I do not receive. This may surprise you, but not every bent knee is a bow. Not every prayer is love. There are children who serve me out of fear, thinking they are pleasing me when in reality they are simply avoiding me. Right. I remain. Those who write this prove that it was not pain that won, but faith. And those who remain reap the fruits that others have stopped seeking. Do you know someone who does everything right but only to avoid punishment? Someone who obeys out of obligation rather than love? That is not the relationship I long to have with my children. I did not call you to live under spiritual terror. I am not an executioner demanding blind obedience out of fear of punishment. I am a father, and it grieves me to see hearts that serve me out of duty rather than devotion. Many give, but without love. Many say yes, but their hearts are far away. And then they wonder, why don't miracles happen? Why does the sky feel closed? Why do answers take so long? Here is the truth that few dare to face. Motivation contaminates the offering. It is not just what you do. It is why you do it. When people seek me out of fear, fear of loss, fear of punishment, fear of hell, they end up relating to me as slaves, not children. And I do not bless pacts made in panic, because where true love dwells, there is no room for despair. Son, you were raised hearing that I was demanding, but no one told you that my burden is light. You were taught to fear me as one fears inevitable punishment, but I wish they had told you that my love casts out all fear. I did not come to keep you down. I came to lift you up with identity, with purpose, with freedom. You were not called to flee from me. You were called to walk with me. And now you understand why so many lie frustrated with their faith. They serve, but they feel empty. They fast, but they are confused. They sing, but they feel nothing, because they approached out of obligation, not desire. A call to true reconciliation. Today, I call you to a sincere reconciliation, not one built on empty gestures, but one rooted in wholehearted surrender. I do not desire ritualistic service born from fear. I desire devotion born from gratitude. I have already saved you. I have already chosen you. I have already loved you first. Now, I ask you to live that truth fully and authentically. Right? Teach me to listen to you. That is the prayer I delight in answering most. Whoever seeks direction with humility stands at the threshold of the extraordinary. If you have journeyed this far, know this. This message is just the beginning. You are stepping onto a path of transformation, a path where freedom replaces performance, where intimacy replaces weight, where true surrender leads to renewal. So listen carefully, because I must reveal something many avoid, even within the church. The silence that suffocates. The enemy does not always need to scream to act. Sometimes he only needs you to stay quiet. There are homes where no one argues anymore, but no one listens either. There are marriages where there are no fights, but also no tenderness, no truth, no confession. There are children who do not speak, not because they have learned respect, but because they have learned to be silent out of fear of disappointing. Houses may appear spotless on the outside, yet be filled with resentment within. That silence is not peace. It is control. It is fear. It is accumulated emotional exhaustion. True peace does not require masks. True peace does not suppress feelings. True peace does not turn people into statues pretending to be fine. I see your house. I see what no one mentions. I see words swallowed instead of spoken. I see tears shed on pillows instead of an open embrace. I see conversations interrupted by pride, by avoidance, by denial. You have stopped speaking about things you love, not because they no longer matter, but because you fear the truth they might expose. You call it maturity, but I tell you, it is spiritual stagnation. Son, there are demons that do not enter through open doors, but through repressed emotions. Some homes seem outwardly orderly, yet are suffocating spiritually from their avoidance of confrontation. The enemy thrives in environments where no one shouts, but no one prays together either. Where everyone pretends things are fine, but no one seeks my voice in unity anymore. It is time to break that cycle. I have chosen you to be the answer for your household. You will not perpetuate the emotional coldness that fractured relationships before you. You will be the one who speaks when others remain silent. You will be the one who prays even when others no longer believe. You will be the one who sits at the table and asks, "How is your heart truly?" Right? I will not let go of your hand. That declaration rends the heavens. When you write it, you seal the gaps the enemy sought to exploit. And I, the Lord, hold your hand tightly. Healing requires confrontation. But understand, this journey will not be comfortable. Your boldness will unsettle many. Because I did not call you for comfort. I called you for healing. And healing does not happen without confrontation. Restoration does not happen without truth. The peace I give is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of purpose, even in the midst of pain. Peace is knowing, even with tears, that you are walking in the right direction. Peace is feeling something inside of you break, but realizing that it was exactly what needed to be broken for something new to be birthed. Today, I will restore your voice. You will no longer tiptoe through life, trying not to disturb others. You will speak with wisdom. You will love with unwavering strength. You will bring light where silence has masked wounds. If this word is stirring something deep within you, it is because my spirit is already moving over your house. And if you know this message is for you, do not ignore that touch. Subscribe now. Your faith must be nourished by truths that lift you above the commonplace. Leave a like, not out of routine, but as an act of agreement with the truth of God. The invisible marks of yesterday. Now that your heart is open, I will show you what many hide, even from themselves. The invisible wounds of old experiences, the ones still shaping your decisions without you realizing it. There are memories you have stored away, thinking that time would heal them. But time does not heal what is not surrendered. Pain that is not dealt with becomes behavior. Many of your fears, insecurities, reactions, and struggles stem from a past you thought no longer affected you. I saw when those harsh words were spoken over you as a child. I saw when you were humiliated, told you were a burden, that you were too much. I saw when they said you were not enough, and you grew up trying to prove otherwise, never realizing that the wound was never yours to carry. It was a spiritual cut that needed my healing, not your performance. Right? Guard my house, Lord. That declaration is not just a request, it is a spiritual shield. Those who entrust their families to me will witness the impossible reversed. You seek acceptance everywhere. You overwork. You give too much. You strive endlessly, not merely because you are generous, but because deep down you still feel you must earn love. And that burden was never mine to give you. There are memories the enemy uses as gaps, unresolved pain that he turns into weapons against you. But today, I have come to uproot those roots, because untreated trauma becomes a distorted identity. You are not defined by your pain. No matter how much you pray, fast, and strive, if you continue to see yourself as too broken to be used, you will keep sabotaging what I want to give you. Trauma is not the end of your story. It is where I desire to begin something new. Look at Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, wrongly accused, imprisoned for years. He had every reason to live in rage toward the world, but he made a different choice. He refused to allow what was done to him to define him. And you can choose, too. You can reject the words that hurt you. You can refuse to let past abandonment shape your capacity to love. You can decide you will no longer be the fruit of pain, but a seed of healing. Today, I give you the courage to look within, without fear. Face those memories, not as sentences but as bridges, bridges to a version of yourself you have yet to meet, scars that speak of survival. You carry marks, yes, but not of shame. They are scars of survival. And do not fear, for you are not alone. My spirit is with you, and every painful memory will be accompanied by my healing hand, tending to wounds no one else saw. Now, understand this. Forgiveness is not merely an act of mercy toward those who hurt you. Above all, it is a gift you give yourself to free your own soul. Holding on to resentment, anger, and bitterness is like carrying an invisible prison, corroding your days and stealing your peace. It is an anchor to the past that keeps you from sailing toward the places I have prepared for you. Many believe that forgiveness means forgetting or excusing wrongdoing. But true forgiveness is an act of courage, a firm decision to say, I will not let this control my life. Forgiveness is the final word in the story of suffering, the turning point where pain gives way to hope and faith. Right? Touch what is blocked. When you declare this, I release what has already been promised. Many do not experience the miracle because they stay silent. But you are taking a stand. I see every pain you carry. I have witnessed your tears when no one was watching. I understand the weight. That seems unbearable. And I am here to tell you, you do not have to carry that burden any longer. Only when you choose to forgive do you make room for me to fully act in your heart. The power of forgiveness. When you forgive, you declare, I trust God's plan for my life even when I do not understand everything. Forgiveness does not mean ignoring justice, for I am just. But it does mean refusing to let the injustices of the past dictate your future. You are not a prisoner of what was done to you. You are a beloved child, called to live in freedom. Resisting forgiveness is resisting my action. When you refuse to forgive, you hinder your healing and restoration. You close the door to blessings I long to pour over you. It may seem impossible now. It may seem like your pain is too great, your wounds are too deep, but I am an expert in transforming the impossible into reality. Remember Paul? He suffered. He was imprisoned. He was rejected. But he never allowed bitterness to rule him. He chose to forgive, to trust, to remain steadfast in his mission. And because of that, his life changed history. You can change yours too. You can break the cycle of pain and suffering in your family. You can teach by example that true love is stronger than any pain. Today, I challenge you to make that decision. Do not wait for things to get worse. Do not wait for the person to apologize. Start now. With the strength I give you, life is too short to live with resentment in your heart. The time spent imprisoned in the past is time lost from the joys I long to give you. Right? My faith is alive. When you declare this, you break invisible chains and disrupt the enemy's plans. Let me clean what is stained. Let me heal what is wounded, and know this: I will be with you every step of the way. Breaking invisible chains. Understand that the spiritual ties that imprison you are not coincidences. They are traps carefully crafted by the enemy, designed to keep you from the full life I planned for you. You are not merely battling random circumstances. Your fight is spiritual, against forces you cannot see but that influence your emotions, your decisions, and even your health. These spiritual chains manifest in many ways: fears that seem irrational, anguish for no reason, cycles that repeat and destroy you, the feeling of always being trapped, even when you run at full speed. It's like an invisible hand holding you back, preventing you from taking the next step. But hear me, these chains have names, and they can be broken. When you seek my presence with sincerity, I give you the keys to unlock your freedom. Right when I put my hand on them, surrender the weight. So bring me everything that binds you, your resentment, your fears, your disappointments. Do not hide anything. Do not pretend everything is okay when it isn't. Speak to me sincerely, for I already know your heart. And then, with faith, declare your freedom. Say out loud that those spiritual ties no longer have power over you. Affirm that you are free to live the purpose I placed in your life. Trust that I am working in you and through you to shatter those barriers. If you feel this message stirring in your heart, do not ignore it. This is the moment to make a decision that changes everything. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving words that strengthen and renew your faith. Leave a like as a sign that you are ready for transformation. Surrender brings the eternal right. I want your plans, not mine. That is the key that changes destinies. Whoever surrenders attracts the eternal. And what comes from me is never incomplete. Get ready because your freedom is near, and I will be with you every step of the way. Every step toward me is never wasted, even if the fruits seem slow to appear. I see every effort, every tear, every silent prayer spoken in secret. I know it is not always easy to keep hope alive when the winds blow against you, when external and internal voices try to convince you otherwise. But I am here, unchanging, unwavering. I lift you when you fall. I surround you with my love when loneliness presses in. I renew your strength when discouragement threatens to take over. True change begins within, in the heart, where few can see. That is where faith strengthens. That is where courage is born. That is where the life I have planned for you begins to take shape. Right. I give you freedom to act. When you open the door, I entered. And when I enter, darkness flees. You are more than a conqueror, because I dwell within you.